Okay, quick audio test because I haven't had this account set up in ages. Can you hear me clearly? Awesome. The music playing, not too loud. Oh, okay. Music, that. About now. About now. Am I still out of the music? Music there now? Nothing. Wait, give it a sec. Nothing. Wait, give it a sec. You playing audio? That's muted. That's weird. Oh, that should be. I don't know if there's an echo or not because I just heard myself and I shouldn't be hearing myself anywhere. Anyway, I'm gonna start. We can put it out as we go along, but I think that's good enough for now. If not, let me know. Okay. I'm drawing this picture of Kit, and I just thought it'd be good to stream because I haven't done it in ages, and I've only got another like a week or so before I go into hospital. Taking a break from cleaning up around the house because it's put my shoulder out. Yeah. And hello to everyone there. I have not even checked how many people are on. We got a few people. Awesome. Well, hold on to your butts. I'm going to be drawing. If you want me to give you away some secrets and stuff, how to be a lazy artist, I can do that as well. So feel free to ask questions. Might make sense. It might not make sense. Okay, so here's a rundown what I've done. So you know the process. There's the rough, pose, get the shapes right. And then I do another layer. I've got this thing that's a blue line layer, which makes everything blue and light, like if you would print it out blue for thingy. That's how I can trace over it. The way I used to draw when I started out 35 years ago was I had these cheap notebook paper, like plain notepads, A4 size stuff, and I would draw pencil on one, a rough. I put that underneath and I trace over the top of it as an ISO pencil. I'd stick that underneath, and then I'd ink on that, and that's how I did my inking before I started inking the normal proper way on penciling on board and stuff, which I hate. So my PC computer version of that is do the layer, and I got this from watching someone else's stream as well. It's not my idea, but you do the layer. You have a blank hue saturation modifier layer that changes the colors to blues. Right? I've got that as a quick action. Tell me if this is boring you. I'm going to do another layer over the top. See, that's the cleaner pencils. I moved them around a bit and I've shaped stuff around, did big stuff there. And then the clean pencils. And then the layers that go. And after this, I'll ink it. Like once I've got nice clean pencils and I'm really happy with the stuff, I'll move it around. So that's the basic process. Any questions? We didn't hear any of that. do the artwork for the Ty the Tasmanian Tiger games. Not all of it, no. I did first game I art directed, designed all the characters, came up with all the concept books and stuff for Taiwan. You know, all the character designs and stuff. As well as gameplay design and that's it. But mostly my thing's the art side of it, mostly. Try 2, again, characters, vehicles. Passed off the world stuff. Jared Pullen, who's a wonderful artist who built the Spyro games for Throne. It's a guy on that. What did we do? Tie 3 on that. Again, same characters and stuff. Yeah, Tie 4 I did most of all the characters, a lot of props, the background, textury bits. I worked with Michael Powell on that, who did the a lot of the other props and background stuff. Mark Douglas did the backgrounds, and Mike Hook did the animations. So that's. I did a lot of art on Ty stuff. The look of Ty is me. Yeah, pretty. Or me inspired. Do you think that... Oh, sorry. I forgot to say Nintendo. Yes, I'm good. Just getting ready for up in the next week's time. But generally, I'm fine. Do you think Ty can make a new curve for small budget? We did. That was Ty 4. You don't want us to just do that again, from what I've read. Well, I'm happy with Ty 4. Good game. But I know people want a bigger Ty 1 style game. That's a bigger budget. Falling for Freedom. Hey Steve, hey Falling for Freedom. I'm waving, but you can't see it. But just imagine me doing a big arm wave. And I'm not making that up either. I physically was waving. First level. Still, that's awesome. I played Type 1, 2, and 3 a little bit on the GBA port of Type 2. Don't expect anything just yet on the Type 3 for the Switch because we're not doing any work on it because finish up some other big project stuff, and I'm going to be in hospital for 2 months. No, I'm not in hospital for 2 months. I'm recovering for 2 months, and then we're planning on doing a Blade Kitten thing next year as everything goes well, or the Switch version of Blade Kitten. So that'll be we've said it, that's our next big plan, and after that we'll see what's going on with other stuff. Like at that point to maybe do a Tie 5, be nice. Or some other Tie thing, who knows? There is other Tie stuff going on, just so you know, but not all game stuff. But it's giving away a lot. We are trying to do other stuff. That's the important thing. Hopefully, we'll have some be able to announce some other. There is a big other thing, but I can't really say much. Yeah, now I've spoiled everything, haven't I? Yes, I play Kitten on Steam. If you've got it, enjoy it. I make no bones about it. I know I've seen ratings for it, like on Metacritic. No one liked it from the big review places back in the day. Stuff we fixed up on the PC version and the second episode. The reviews there, like the people there like it because we did a good job. Maybe it was just the wrong time. I don't know. I'm really happy with that game. That's why I'm going to do on the Switch. I like doing hands. I'm not always very good at them, but I just like doing them. Weird, because they're just different kinds of hands. Yeah, Chrome's done a lot of stuff. Some of them I ironically can't even talk about, but you know, outlay against Wikipedia. Gosh. We did a Frozen game. We worked on a Frozen game. I did some stuff on that. That was pretty cool. We did 2 Legend of Spyro games. We did New Beginning and The Long Night. And the name of it now. Getting old. I don't know if you heard that. That's my phone alarm sound. I made it sound like R2D2. But we go. Change the levels. Okay. Yeah, my first game was like came out 30 years ago. Thinking. I love the Klonoa games. I played the first one on my PlayStation 1 Japanese import thing, and Japanese import Klonoa because I bought it February, came out in Japan, so it was like 6 months before America. I was going to add a big wad of cash. I was going to buy a new PC or a console. I was thinking of getting a Saturn. And I went to this import place, which was a guy who was just importing stuff out of his apartment. And they had the PlayStation there. I was like, yep, I'm getting the PlayStation. I think he had Ridge Racer and Shinden. They're the first two games I bought. And I used to import stuff from a place in New York, get it from overseas. This was like early internet days too, so this is like, you're talking mid-90s. Oh, but they were glorious times. But Klonoa, yeah, I remember the intro of the first one, on PlayStation 1. I think I 100% completed that game, which is very rare for a platformer for me because I'm not that good at them, even though I like them. Yeah, Klonoa was wonderful. Don't like the redesigned version, but the costume in the original one, that one's my favorite one. I also played both the game, these two games, didn't like as much. The Game Boy ones I really liked. I've got the WonderSwan version, but yes, I like Klonoa a lot. It's a great mechanics, great game, great world, great look. The old Namco, they used to make really good games. Well, they merged the Bandai. There, I said it. Isn't the reignited stuff totally new music? It's not the stuff from the original Spyro ones? So we're first, in that case. How's my drawing? Am I doing okay? Yeah, I'm not interested in promoting my channel. Thanks anyway. No, you think it's a scam? Guess it could be. I guess it could be, yeah. Either way, I have no reason not to be polite. And after all, a gentleman of fine standing. Getting it? Getting it? Doing lines that go through the folds and the wrinkles and then making them look wrinkled. Anyone else like doing that, or is it aimed at everyone? Folds are so much fun to do. Yes, the tail just comes right out of the butt. Top of the butt. When we're doing tie, we would always like, I wouldn't bother doing too much detail on the back, but when people were modeling it, they'd always try and like work out all the stitching and stuff around where his tail comes in. I told him, no, don't bother. You're just drawing attention to it. It's not important. Don't put stuff in there. Question: ever thought of making a Tamagotchi-esque racing game based on the skips? No, because that would be too much like the Sonic Chow thing, I think. Right, I should put that as no, I never thought of doing it. Probably wouldn't do it because I think they look too much like the Chows in Sonic Adventure. Yeah. Interesting idea though. Truth is, there's only so much time you've got to make stuff, so you got and budget. I was like, yeah. I like to do this stuff. Like Kitten is an example. There was yeah, Sonic Adventure 2. No, the main thing in Sonic Adventure 2 was the bit with the new homing attack that you'd always fire it off and it would throw you off of the map somewhere. It would never target what was directly in front of you. That was so frustrating. But back to Kitten. Originally, you were going to fly around the planet. It was going to be an open world thing. And you had the gun thruster, which is basically like a motorbike thing. You'd fly all over the landscapes in 3D. I had all this cool visual stuff in my head where it's like there was these things you could do on the overworld. It was pretty basic venturing stuff. And then once the overworld was actually an overworld, you get to these outcrop islands, which were the entrances to the dungeons, in quotes. And the dungeons were the side-scrolling platforming bits. And they'd be like a little dungeon sort of thing. That didn't work out because we didn't have enough designers to do the dungeon stuff properly. We went for more of a straight arcadey thing on it. It's a shame because I really like the idea of, which is stolen totally from Wind Waker, which is like there's a big map, you move around, you explore stuff, and you come across areas of different kind of gameplay with their little islands. I love. I will probably still do that one day somehow, but it was not meant to be on that game because it was supposed to be a PlayStation Store, Xbox Live style game, so it was already way above what we should have done for that style of thing, budget wise. Back leg looks too short now. Bother flipping it. Those got to go down. What games am I playing these days? I've been playing Mario Wonder on the last few levels. I play a little back level a day until I die the first time and then I stop. But that's really good fun. Picked up Assassin's Creed. What's the one on the Quest 2? That's kind of alright. Way too much bullshit Abstergo stuff, but what else was I playing? Hanging out for some small indie stuff. Yeah, not much. I've been trying to mostly, like I said, I've been getting ready for my operation and things. So I've been getting the house ready, like putting together a bed, an IKEA bed. Yeah, I understand now why they say it takes two people to on a little. It's like, yes, make sure you've got two people to do it. I put my shoulder out, and ironically, with this, it's not from lifting all the bed bits around. It was from drilling in all of the drill stuff at weird angles. So yeah, that's fun. Am I looking forward to playing anything? It says, I don't know. It all comes out. There's not much. I don't play any AAA titles. There's nothing that interests me at all. Badly. Hey, but yeah, I just see, well, oh, this game's out. It's like, yeah, don't care. But yeah, I've just been around long enough playing those games. I did play a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. I finished that and did a whole bunch of that. 150 plus hours on it. And I had been tempted to start it again while I'm recovering, so that may still happen. I'm playing Blade Kitten. Look at what I want to change, if anything, if I can. Join that. Honestly, it's the game I wanted to play the most out of anything. As in making the game that you really want to play. It's been a lot of fun going back and looking at old kit stuff and going, oh yeah, I like that. Think about like an episode 3 I like to do. Like hypothetical, it's not going to happen, but it's not going to happen. It's not definitely going to happen. Might yeah, we go with Kickstarter. Like if people actually support us, like we did with Tide, that'd be great. Honestly, if the Kickstarter does not make any get any support, there won't be a Blade Kitten on Switch, and I doubt there'll be me doing anything else in the future. That sounds really down. I don't mean it to be, but it's like they try so many times. That's it. Obviously, you keep trying until you can't try anymore. That for inspiring talk, huh? Yeah, it does weigh you down. You know, the one that weighs you down the most is when people go, you tell them, oh, here's this new thing I've done, and or that you're thinking of doing, and they do the, oh, here's my money meme, and you just know they're the people who are never going to give you anything. They're not going to support you, but like, oh, yeah, that's great, thank you. Top tip, never post that if someone actually has something you want. Because we all know that you're never going to do anything with it. That's probably no one here, but just say no. I sound so awfully down, don't I? Oh, Mr. Hello. Hello, Eric. Yeah, no waved. I should put my camera on. I might do that next week before I go. Yeah. One final... I mean, final is in before I go into hospital. I'll do one after I come out, obviously, because I'll be here recovering for a couple of weeks. And also, recovering means I can't actually lift anything heavy or go driving. It's not like I'm going to be in bed. That's what my mum thinks. I'm going to be bedridden for 6 weeks. No, it's like, no, I'm just not allowed to do yard work or drive. Which is good, because that's stuff I hate doing anyway. Bye, Mr. There we go. What don't I like? Right. Nope, those eyes look wonky as hell. Look at that. Be paying attention. Sometimes I just screw up, don't screw the pupil. I can work with that. Soon we'll enter the wonderful world of hiding things with color. Question: when did you first start to draw? Yeah, like a lot of kids, I always used to draw. There was a point in high school where I stopped drawing a bit because I was really embarrassed about drawing people, like realistic people. Hadn't had a lot of practice and I was very shy. I didn't do it. I was just really scared that I was going to look terrible, and I hadn't done any practice with it. And I wouldn't even do it on my own. I just felt really uncomfortable doing people. And then, in the 10th grade, which is funny, it's only like 2 years after I didn't want to touch people at all. Astro Boy in 1980 came out, the anime. The 1981 is really good. It was my gateway drug to anime and drawing. And once they came out, it's like, they had all these cool robots and the characters were cute, and I wasn't. So I was really familiar at the time because this is 1980s, 84. So anime on mainstream stuff, there wasn't a lot of it. There was Astro Boy, there was Star Blazers, the first Voltron. The weird thing was I really was starting to get into it, and I looked up old stuff, like trying to find out who did this Astro Boy thing, and I found out Tezuka, who did Kim of the White Lion, which is one of my favorite shows as a kid. Like, oh, so that's anime. And then the other shows I liked as a kid when I was like in 1974, Gigantor, Adventures in 28, and Speed Racer. It's like the old Rankin Bass cartoons, the family classics. If you've ever seen those, they're fantastic. They were done in Japan. I was like, oh, I like this anime stuff. I like the way they draw. So I started trying to learn to draw like that. And I used to draw a lot in English class. Housemaster was the teacher. He was like very happy to do that. The Thundercats, Silverhawks, Mighty Orbots, Robotech, obviously. So as the stuff came along, when Robotech came out, that was it. Like, holy shit. And then I started looking at stuff. Like after '86, when I finished, I was in art college. There was a lot of stuff at comic shops. So they'd come in, and I've actually got on my desk now a couple of books I bought back then. Bubblegum Crisis, art books and stuff. I only got years ago to Japan. Look more. Yeah. The angles and stuff can make a huge difference to how good something looks. That way, that looks a lot better. See? Easy peasy. Okay, ready for some color? So, first up, I use these plugins to do color flatting, which basically takes the line art and every area that's closed off, it puts a random color with a hard edge that's really easy to, and it takes the edge off it, so it's basically aliased. chunky stair-stepped edges, so it's really easy to fill. And I've got it set up here as a thing, and that does my little action to do all the bundle plugins. Got this, all the random colors there. I go through with my change magic wand. That's one area. That grabs from one area, only the color. Bingo. So now I've got all the areas flooded out. That crazy amount of work if you don't use the plugin. The plugin was like 80 bucks. I've been using it for like nearly 10 years now, and I love it. Okay, so we're going to need a picture. Load it. Watch as I make all the colors right. You'll notice I'm using my new Kit look hairstyle. I missed one there. Still quicker than doing it the hard way. Looks like I know what I'm doing. Right. The dark. I think the purple or the yellow for the stripe. For those, so you can't. Yep. Highlights always makes the eyes look cool. Alive. In my box. I don't like stuff that doesn't have. Okay, let's do some shading. Make a layer, multiply layer. Use the layer below it that's got the colors as a clipping mask. Really easy to knock over the edge. Pick your color. Use this one. We're gonna let's open one. Use my plugin lasso fill, which every time you draw a lasso, as soon as you lift the pen, it automatically fills it in for you. Very handy for quick if you're doing stuff with shapes. It's made by the guy who does all the cool brushes, Photoshop, Kyle Webster. I got it from Gumroad. Really recommend it. He's got like a super lasso one that doesn't quite work the way I like this one that does, the super version. And I've got both. That's how I do shading. I think of big shapes, like areas, like oh, there's a shade here, over there. They'll have some spiky bits. Not accurate, to be honest. Doesn't need to be. It just needs to look cool and look like it's bringing out shapes. Yeah, you can sit down and try and make it all perfect. What you want to do? Go for it. I am lazy. I don't want to do that. My cigarette. I'm going to stop for a second and go grab a drink. I'm parched. The white thing? Oh. Back. Have some food in there while I was at it. Anyone still here? Awesome, thank you. Full wings report in. Add 5 standing by. 5 standing by. Put your deflectors on double front. More wrinkles. It's all about the wrinkles. Was the first anime you ever watched? It, like I said, it was would have been Gigantor probably because that was black and white. Gigantor and Speed Racer. One of my favorites growing up is a show called Kum Kum, which is Wanpaku something. It's about a cave boy by maybe like Tezuka Rintaro. Roughly, you know. Oh, and it was created by the guy who did the artwork on Gundam and stuff, Yoshikazu Yasuhiko. Anpako Omikashi Kumukumu. Naughty Agent Kum Kum. It came out, I think NBC put it out, NBC, some American company actually put it out. It's great. I think it was the first time I saw a character pee on television. It was very Japanese. The stuff that they would do now that people wouldn't think about, but back then in the 70s, like, what? Did they just show us Willy? 75 to 76. PBS. Rintaro, who did Metropolis movie of thingy. He's a... You know, I'll put a link here to the Wikipedia. It has the best intro music. I will link that as well. Intro. Here's a video on YouTube, worth watching. It is so groovy. One of the things I would love to do one day if I did another licensed game, it would be this. You growing up as a little caveman kid switch. Good shit. Actually, stuff like that explains why I do weird shit that I do. Here's a fun thing with Gigantor. But in the 90s, there was an anime that came out called Giant Robo, which is like a retro-y thing. And I found out that Giant Robo, which felt a lot like a weird Gigantor movie, like parody, but kind of a homage, actually was by the guy who did Gigantor. It was one of his giant robot shows. Like, oh, that kind of explains why I like it so much. Yeah, speaking of anime, back in the 80s in Australia, it was really hard to get anything to watch. The luckiest stuff was on TV. You think America had it bad in the 90s or whatever, which didn't, it was an amazing time then. But in the 80s, it was like local comic shop would get in pirated copies and you'd buy them for a ridiculous price on VHS. I had a guy in same grade as me who would go to Hong Kong and come back with stuff. He'd bring episodes of Dr. Slump, which was great. That's Kira Toriyama's magnum opus before Dragon Ball. That was stuff like that. Akira, it was like 1988. I had a VHS of Akira, and that was amazing. And in 1989, I went to Comic Con in America, went overseas, in San Diego, like the 20th San Diego Comic Con, and I got to see the English premiere, the first album of Akira. It was free too. Yeah, there's one layer of shading. That's the simple anime one. Check this out. Copy that layer. It's darker. Then you go filter, blur, Belgian blur. Then you got a soft one. Then you go back to your original layer. You had a mask. And get your airbrush. You go on the mask layer. This is the good bit. Is how you get really complicated looking shading without having to lower it. So I want to soften that edge up a bit. So get rid of the hard edge. Put the shading in there so you got a nice soft bit and you got hard bits. You can smooth out some stuff so it looks nice and curvy, and then you can harden other stuff up so it's got a hard edge on it. That. I spent hours airbrushing bits and pieces, but no, seconds. I'm lazy and I find the easiest way to do stuff. It works, so, you know. Challenge anyone else out there to do it. Yeah, that's what stuff was like a lot. It was worse in the 70s. There was no way of knowing. Anime wasn't a thing until the 80s anyway, even in Japan, because it was there's a different name for it, cartoony stuff or just animation. Look, there wasn't really, but that sort of came out later. Nice soft edges. Maybe I can do some backlighting on the other side now. Yeah. This really complicated shading. And I'm just pleased with myself. Honestly, I find this too hard to do sometimes, so I don't even bother. A bit of color. Yeah, that's not. What do I think about Hatsune Miku? I don't get the love. I mean, it was a cool idea when it came out, but it's sort of really weird. And the character's fine. That's not weird or anything. I just mean that the way people are sort of really caught onto it, it seems like, yeah, I don't understand where that's from. Does that make sense? Keep these questions coming. I like it. I like having something to talk about. It's not just me rambling. Yeah, we got 2 layers of shadows. I'm doing a layer of highlights now. The other ones here. Yeah, the whole Toriyama stuff with the Western things and go look at the Ranma half games on the Super Nintendo, because they totally got rid of Emiko Takahashi's artwork. They just like, I think it's like Ranma half hard battle, but it's it was that whole age of just like, nah, can't have anime, but we want the fighting game part of it. Change all the art. Shot hard. I mean, it's different on my game. It was hard though. Sorry, give me a sec, I have to look up what it was. No. Street combat. The American one was street combat. Oh god, it looks terrible too. Mind you, that was that happened a lot. Like on the Sega Master System, there was a game called The Ninja, which was actually, there was a little guy ninja running around doing stuff, but it was actually based on Sega's arcade game Ninja Princess. Like, yeah, we don't want girly stuff. Great game too, by the way. Like you could throw shuriken and yeah, once you fire it up and once you fire to the side. Very much like a walk along beat 'em up. And there was another one. I think it was a karate game. Looked like a generic guy in a gi. It turns out it was a conversion of a Fist of North Star game. I'm glad those days are gone because that was kind of, I'd hate to be in that thing. Imagine a Thai game where they changed it to Bugs Bunny. Hello, Sonic Wind 149. Do we drop the numbers when we say like the things like Sonic Wind? What's the, you know? What should we do? Like, the existential crisis. Yeah, I think that was just because people hadn't been used to it. I think originally, with the stuff from overseas, there was a lot of places were very parochial, where it's like there was the not from here. I remember being an Australian game developer in the 90s. People were like, "Oh, you can't make games, you're not American," and nowadays, international game market, like much cooler having games from all over the place. It was like that with food as well. Back in the 70s, like Chinese food, and that was it. That was your word I'm looking for. Exotic stuff. I remember like the first Pizza Hut came to Brisbane. I think that one's gone down, but we used to, I remember 1974 or 5. I remember it used to happen at midday. We were there lined up outside with like maybe like a dozen people waiting to go in, and my mum had to pee. We were just sitting outside. Those were the days. Wait for it. I'm doing the airbrush thing again. The mask. Popping up edges. making fun of myself. A magical thing. It's like, no, yeah, you're lazy bugger, Steve. Yeah, it works. I don't even know what she's doing, to be honest. But you know what it needs? It needs this layer. There we go, that's what I needed. No, it's annoyingly standoutish. Dark purple highlights. My highlights I usually use a dodge layer. You get interesting colours out of it, but it doesn't get bright enough on the colour additive thing. You need to go in with the green layer, so you can actually get some white. Do it. Start by doing purpley colour to the keeps the colours going. I just want the little spots to be. Honey bum. Question: is there going to be a third Doomer comic? Will Shazza have some kind of backstory? Funny you should ask that, because I do have a plot for a third Boomerang story. And it's a Shazza story where her cousin comes. Shazza's cousin Keza comes to visit, and Keza would look like the old Shazza design that I sort of scrapped in Taiwan. There's a little story that goes on, but the joke is that the cousins look exactly the same to everyone else, even though they're totally different looking. And people can't tell them apart. And Keza, which is Kerry, Shazza Sharon, Keza Kerry, there's Keza, Kiza, and Kaza. They're the three cousins. There's going to be two cousins. There's going to be. But they're basically, the joke is all the three sisters look the same. Shazza, the cousin, their cousin Shazza. Are the Blade Kid comics still available for? Yes, they're all print on demand from a place called Indie Planet. If you go to the Blade Kitten website and store, there's a link to them. They do print on demand. That's the way I've always done them from day one. They're the ones I'd sell at cons and stuff. They look great. The big Ultimato comic, which is all the Blade Kid stuff that's ever been printed, that's like about 40 or 50 US. It's like 100 something pages. A lot of art. It's like, it's all the comics were printed. They were done to that, released at that point, including the alternate early versions of some of the pages. So like it would have the, like, did it like 2 or 3 times before I really got going on it. You had the early version with the black and white pages. You had some of the pages that were the original pencils, and then there's also like the Dirty Justice collected book of that. There's Dirty Angels, which is the book that's getting Justice teaming up, the first one to do that. But yes, they're all available. Well, yeah, collection 1 to 4 is the stuff that's in Ultimato or the kept doing these collection editions. They had to come up with new names from. There was the Grande collection, which is whatever comics were available at that point, and there was the Ultimato. The next collection will be called Ultimatu. Just like stupid words. And then I'd like to also make Art Tomato, which is the art book. These things will probably be available in the Kickstarter. One of the things I want to do is like do the comics as a nice hardcover edition. So that would be a good thing if you want to back the Kickstarter. Get good groovy stuff. Something about like there'll be a big figure like the Thai ones based on the one we did for the release of the game. We did like these 3 statuettes, and then we have little figures. I want to do a little action figure or a 6-inch action figure kit with like a little skiffy and a little blade and some extra hands and it's like kind of posable one. So that would be nice. But we're up for hearing other ideas for stuff too, mind you. I'm shooting some hex. Hex on her. Do that. Back. Undo. What the hell did it just do? I turned that layer off. God. I scared myself then. I just clicked the wrong layer. Redo. Upstairs. Right. That layer. Wow. Made this hex pattern my default pattern. Yeah, see, Control Z wasn't working because it didn't actually do anything that wasn't undo because it was just turned a layer. I hid a layer visually, so I couldn't see it. So that, yeah, that's why I scared myself. Liquefy. I don't know. This mic on. You poo. tricky here. Night night. Not me, night night. That's Falling for Freedom, night night. You don't need a certification to use Photoshop. I taught myself everything. Okay. We got, a lot of what you and the Chrome folks that made was part of my childhood. Spent quite a number of days in Taiwan. Oh. Thank you for playing the games. Simple as that. We just did them because we liked making them. And yeah, Blade Kitten gets attention because I got the reason Blade Kitten sort of dropped off the map for a little while in the 2020s was okay. Sad story, but I had a dog called Skippy that I named after Skippy and Blade Kitten, and he passed away in 2019, I think. Yeah, it was 2019. Oh, yeah, 2019, August 14th. He got an infection on his leg, and it ended up taking all the skin off his leg. He was getting better, like they were going to do a skin graft, and taking him down to the vet, and they got to the point where he could walk into the vet, and I was so proud, and then took him home, and like a couple of days later, he just got sitting there at night, couldn't breathe properly at night, and I was like sleeping out on the floor in the lounge on an airbed with him. And then one night it was like it was just looking bad, and so I took him down to the vet, and I just knew that was the day. I mean, it's like his blood sugar was crazy, the infection had taken over, there was like, he was going to be a mess, so it was like, I had to say goodbye that day. Yeah, I didn't feel like doing any Blade Kitten stuff after that for a long time. It was just, I kept trying to force myself to do it, but it was just really hard. That's why I just started fresh with Crime Club, started something new that wasn't attached to all that stuff. And I love Crime Club, I'm going to do more about it, and I've got stories that I'm doing. But yeah, it's taken until now to get back into, well, it's taken until keep doing Blade Kitten stuff, but it never gets any steam behind it. Like last year I was doing a 2D game, and it's sort of lost steam on that. I will say I did get another dog a couple of months later. I just thought I'm going to clean the place up and get ready to get another puppy, and that's going to be what keeps me going. And I was just looking around. I wanted to get a Shiba Inu. I thought, they're really hard to find. What about Border Collies? Another Border Collie, because if he was a chocolate Merle's Border Collie, he was nuts. Not nuts, but crazy eyes. And I'm looking through the puppy pictures, and it's like, there was just one there, and it's like, I was looking, I'm going, yeah, it's a black and white Border Collie, don't really want that. And I kept looking around. I kept going back to look at the puppy, and I thought, I keep going back to this page. I remember that's what happened with Skippy as well. I kept going back to the shot of him. It's like, oh, okay, this is the one. Okay, so I went down to, they were like an hour and a half drive from my place. So I drove down to have a look at the puppies. This is probably about 3 months. It was September, October, start of November. So yeah, about 3 and a bit months after Skippy passed. I'd been alone. So I went down and see these puppies, and they had like a litter there. It's like 6 girls and 4 boys. Yeah, and they had this little pen outside, and I'm just sitting there playing with puppies. Like, I just remembered, I forgot what this is like. And then Mickey was actually the one that was not paying any attention to me. All the other ones that were already taken, they were coming up and they were really hello and looking around and stuff. Mickey was lying back on a water bottle that was filled with like frozen, and just like he was chilling on his little tummy. I'm like, yeah, that's the dog I want. Because I took my mum and dad down with me, and they're like, you sure you want that one? He looks like he's going to be too quiet. I'm like, yeah, that's the one. I always pick the quiet dog, and there never other quiet dogs. But yeah, I had to wait like about 2 weeks till he was old enough to leave the mother. But about a week and a bit later, I got a call from the breeder. He goes, yeah, can you pick him up earlier because his big sister's picking on him? And like we can separate them, but if you want to take him earlier, it should be okay. So I went down and grabbed him like about 3 days earlier. I was going to. And yeah, so I got my Mickey. Totally different dog for the same breed, totally different personality, but equally fun. So yeah, they had a happy ending. He turned 4 in September, and I got him about a week ago. It was 4 years since I got him, the day I picked him up. Yeah, it's a sad story, but it's a happy story. And now, like, did my run with some crime clubs, started up another project. Domino's is sending things for pizza. Don't Domino. And then yeah, just sort of because we started talking about, well, you know, we've done all the Thai ones that we want to do for the moment. We could do Blade Kitten on the Switch, which is Lindsay. The run director of development? No, that's not it. He's like the proper title for him. Lindsay started off doing QA on Thai 1, and we've worked with him for 20 years. He and I did Thai 4. But we keep talking about doing Blade Kitten on the Switch. And it's like, well, you know, let's do it now. If the Kickstarter gets enough support, do it, we'll do it. If not, we won't touch it. That's me warning. It's like, if you'd like to see Blade Kitten or more stuff from us, put the word out. We do the Kickstarter and launch it to get as many people to know about it as possible. Because it is, I've played on Windows handhelds and we've played on Steam Deck. And it is really nice on a handheld system. It'll be perfect on the Switch. Because even though it's a current gen-ish sort of game, it's designed for the 360 and PS3 at like 720p, so it should run beautifully on the Switch. That's what we're hoping for anyway. Yeah, that's my pitch. I've said that I won't do any more sale talk today, but basically, yeah. If you really want to see stuff from us, support the Alright, what am I doing with this now? What to do next? Any thoughts? Draw more? Go up and play some games? I don't know. For today. Who's still here? Anyone still here? Be reading slowly? Yeah, okay. Blade Kitten game, if that does well and get on, you know, it actually comes out. There are people we've talked to about doing, who did the Thai physical release. So we're going to talk to them about they're looking for content. Obviously, we want to do more Thai stuff with them, and Blade Kitten physical release on Switch. Like a little, they do stuff like art books and all that sort of shit. Looking forward to doing that maybe. I don't know if it's going to be a huge success. Like, it's not, I don't expect it to be, you know, smash hit thing all of a sudden, but you know, it'll look nice on the Switch. It plays good, and if that can get enough interest to lead to me finally doing episode 3, but Bossa Nova is episode 3. Imagine Blade Kitten game where you get to play as Kit. She's got her Kit moves, Justice, and she's got the gun, a whole different set of moves, so the gameplay's different for her. You got Borat with his big cracks, which is the big axie sort of thing he smashes stuff with, and he plays different. He's like a big tank character. And Terra is like kind of a mix between Kit and Justice. Obviously, she has some different moves, and then basically you adventure through with that sort of stuff. I got excited by that. I probably shouldn't get excited by that, but yeah, it would be this Kit that we're drawing now, that the new look. Not this costume, but that's not that little costume. I'm just thinking of it. Let's make a background for it. Watch me cheat backgrounds now. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, I do want to get someone. How do I decide then? Any thoughts on Bob Rush stuff? Like, yes, I finished it. Completely finished it. I thought the gameplay was fantastically good copy of both Jet Set Radio. I thought the story stuff was stupid. Then they have all these badly directed cutscenes that for the story, which no, I didn't care about. The game was great. The music was solid. There was some rough edges around it, but I did play enough of it, like all of it, to finish the story, and I started to get the hang of stuff. Only challenges I didn't like were like go out there and get like as many points as you can doing tricks. That's what Tony Hawk does as well. But yeah, I love the characters and stuff, and generally it was pretty good. I have to do more. They did a great job copying that stuff, and I love Jet Set Radio. I remember it being at E3, Sega thing when they had Jet Set Radio and Space Channel 5, and they had the dancers on the stage, and they were doing all the stuff. Wow, these games look really cool, because it was also Dreamcast, which was my favorite console. Gotta add in one thing. Would you happen to be a Halo fan? Fan's a strong word. I do like it. Played Halo 1, didn't play Halo 2. Loved Halo 3. ODST, I don't know if I'd finished that. Didn't really love that much. Reach was fucking amazing. I played Halo 4 a bit. I just felt like these are multiplayer maps that have story strung through it, and they lost me at that. And I did get Halo 1 and 3, 1 and Reach or whatever on Steam. So yeah, I'm enough of a Halo fan. I like it. I love the music. Good series. But yeah, I'm not a big first-person shooter fan either. There's two things that, three things if you say they're in a game that basically kills any interest in it for me. One is roguelike. The other one is card battle and stuff, and the third one is an FPS. But the FPS is not as strong a thing that turns me off. But it's like I'm not as keen on that. Because I always hate FPS games where they decide to put jump puzzles in and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, it's just broken. What are you doing? And yeah, card battle games, it's like, I don't understand why you need to do a card battle thing in a computer game, because the card battle is something to try to replicate a thing that you could actually do in the game. Oh, let's build a party with cards, give them stuff. You don't need to display them as cards. You can do that in a whole different way that's much more natural and yeah, so that's just a rant of mine. Yeah, roguelikes, the only reason I don't like them is just because, like, yeah, random stuff's okay, but give me a well-crafted dungeon or something, or a puzzle that someone's put effort into, and I'd be much more interested. But yeah, on order of things that turn me off: card battle, roguelike, first-person shooter. Oh no, above all that is sports game. Sorry, that's no interest in that. That's Stevie, old fart. Huh? I'm gonna play some old games. Oh, yeah, brilliant. But I don't know what Kit's supposed to be doing in this picture, but I like it. What it? Put that as a bonus. I think that'll be it for today. But tomorrow I'm not going to be on because I got to get my eyes checked in the afternoon, and I might not have power in the morning because they're changing my meter box over. Yay! Thursday. I might stream again on Thursday if I feel like I'm drawing anything. So you know, keep your eyes open. Or Friday. No, maybe not Friday. I'll do a run out to Costco on Friday for the dog. But yeah. Thanks for showing up today. Always fun. I'm happy to talk about stuff and draw in front of you and bore you to death with my old stories, but in a couple of days if everything goes good. I'll try and do a few more before I go off into hospital, basically. Toodaloo.